I welcome all of you in today's session to celebrate International Yoga Day. And today's topic will be taking yoga beyond the mat. No, you don't need yoga mat because we are taking today yoga beyond the mat. As the topic suggests that, why we want to take yoga beyond the mat. So I just at the beginning want to know your thoughts or your perspective about yoga. If you practice yoga, what practices you do usually. Even if you don't practice yoga, you can just tell me, okay, I'm just very new to yoga or I haven't done yoga before, whatever your say is. So if you want, you can raise your hand, unmute yourself, and you can tell me.
Ketki.
Yes.
Yeah, I do yoga every day, as you know, my last 3 years. There is no day in an entire year that I missed yoga. So that's the reason.
So even you are more regular than me, I must agree that.
It's just one day when I took vaccine. On that day only I didn't do it. But that was really, excuse was good.
Excellent, excellent. I just feel happy if, someone says that I don't even miss one day of yoga. That's really a great achievement. Yes.
Yeah, I do yoga, but what is beyond yoga? I'm really curious. I know a little bit, I guess little bit, but I'm really curious to know.
Yeah, it is not beyond yoga. It is beyond the mat. Yeah. Yes. So that's what we are going to explore in this session. Anyone else want to say something, anything about your practice or about your thoughts about yoga? Any one of you? Sorry, at a time I can see just few, videos here. So if I can't see your hand raised, you can just unmute and start speaking. All right. Yeah. Vrinda. Okay. Tell me.
Right. Hi, I'm Brunda Tore. I'm joining for the first time. I do Surya Namaskar in the morning every day. And some sessions, nowadays, I used to go for yoga classes for many years. But after the pandemic started, I do the Cassandra and who is that other lady? Adrian Yoga. On YouTube. But I do realize that doing the postures, yogasana is just 10% of what yoga practice should be. And I know all the stages, niyam, yam, pranayam, asan, pratyahara, dharana, atman, and samadhi. But what I practice is just the physical aspect of it.
That's true. I think 99% it is true with every one of us that right now what concept of yoga is popular and widely practiced is asana and pranayama. Many people feel that yoga equals yoga postures, yoga asanas, correct? Anything else do you have in your mind about yoga that apart from asana pranayam, I also practice this? Yes, Shriya.
I like the bit how you teach us to do all the variations of the Surya Namaskar because it makes me feel really relaxed.
Yes, that's good. You like variations of Surya Namaskar. And I know Shriya is one of the most enthusiastic student in my children's yoga, and she never misses her class. And even she does very beautiful chanting of Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So she's, I think, the youngest one who chants all the shlokas beautifully. So just clap for her. Well done, Shriya. So I think you are the one who practice, chanting apart from asana and pranayama. So well done. Yes. Anyone else? Kavita.
Yeah, hi. I want to practice stress relief and meditation.
Kavita, have you logged in from 2 devices?
No.
Because I could see you twice. One is your video is off, and other there is, or are there 2 Kavita Kulkarni? Okay, that is because I can. All right, she's then Sujata Mathur, because on her video I could read the name Kavita Kulkarni. I don't know why. That's okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to practice stress relief with meditation. I'm very bad with meditation. I just can't take it more than 5 to 10 minutes. And every part of the thought in the world comes in my head when I start doing it.
Yeah.
I have genuinely tried and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. See, that is the case with everyone. You are not the one person. That happens to everyone.
Meditation is the thing which, not that I want to be in that sort and start doing some things which is not.
You know what? To be honest, what I want to tell about Kavita's statement, that every one of us want to practice meditation. Yeah. I want to practice meditation. I want to practice meditation, but somehow we don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
And do we think that whether we are yet ready for meditation?
I think that might be the second point, that am I just forcing myself to do, or I really genuinely want to do, but I just can't do it. And right with at night, like when I sleep, I just don't say, but chant something in my head, which makes me go into the sleep. But I don't know whether that is a part or inclusive of meditation.
Okay.
But I want to relax my brain of not thinking what is going to happen tomorrow with work or any other things which is going to happen tomorrow, because I have the habit of thinking over than I should.
See, it's not your habit, because mind itself is chanchala. It is its inherent quality to wander, to get distracted. So you are not at fault.
And my problem is, once I start reading something, people go to sleep, but it's opposite for me. I get fresh if I read at night. And I'm like, oh, if I want to finish, if I'm reading a novel, then I just finish it off. I'm like, no, I shouldn't be doing that. I want to sleep because it's beyond time. Not that I get deprived of sleep. I get all my 8 hours sleep. But I want to genuinely try meditation. Even if I win like 15-20 minutes, it will be a victory for myself.
See, you know what? A few months back, I have invited my friend to talk about meditation.
CLOW, yearly.
Someone is not mute. Can you please mute your call? I think Sujata, can you mute your call?
I'm so sorry, Ketki.
Yeah, no worries. So what she said, that as you know, love, can you decide that I want to love someone? Whenever you fell in love, it happened, isn't it? Similarly, meditation happens. Meditation is not the process that you plan and you do it. It should happen to you. If you're practicing asanas, if you're practicing pranayama, if you're doing Vedic chanting, that tools, which is the part of Bahiranga Yoga, that is the external yoga, where we are taking help of our body, our breath, our sound. So all these tools, we are taking help to go into antaranga, that is the internal yoga. So the dharana, dhyan and samadhi, as Vrunda has mentioned, the 8 limbs of yoga. Sage Patanjali has given us a beautiful path, a step-by-step, systematic path to go. Now, if you directly want to jump on the terrace, will that happen? Or whenever we start our schooling, you know, it is nursery, reception, year 1, year 2. then GCSE, then A levels. I think we are right now at nursery or reception level on the path of Ashtanga Yoga. Now, if we are thinking, no, being in reception, I want to give exam of A levels or GCSE, that's we are talking right now. I want to meditate. No, meditation will not happen like that. Because at the same time, what you are saying, there are thousands of thoughts, all the thoughts of the world coming in my mind. And then I want to meditate. These two things not will happen parallelly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what Sage Patanjali has given us are the ladder. It are the steps to climb the ladder. Will you climb the topmost step of the ladder? No, you have to go from first, second, third, fourth, fifth, then sixth, seventh, eighth. Which is the most ignored part of Ashtanga Yoga is yamas and niyamas. Yamas are the social observances. Okay, so these are the Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. Satya, Asteya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya and Aparigraha. I am not going into detail, just I am going into the detail of few yamas and niyamas. So the first one is, I am taking it as Satya. Satya, Asatya, Satya, Ahimsa and all these yamas, why we need to practice it? We should become aware of our behavior, of our responses, of our reactions while interacting with the world. Now, Satya plays an important role. Now, the general meaning of Satya is not to tell lie, isn't it? But this is not only the meaning of Satya here. Whatever thoughts come in my mind, the same thoughts do I speak, or I am thinking of something else or something different, I am speaking something different, and I am acting something different. So, is there alignment in my thoughts, in my speech, in my intentions, in my thoughts, in my speech, what I speak, and in my actions? Is there alignment? If there is alignment at all these three levels, then you are expressing your true nature, your honesty. You're true to yourself first, then think about others. Okay? Telling lies is a different matter. You can lie to yourself, you can lie to others, but then you are only at disadvantage. So all the time, why we are talking about taking yoga beyond the mat? First of all, we think that when I do my 30 minutes or 1 hour of yoga practice, means few rounds of Surya Namaskar, few rounds of or types of asanas or postures, do some pranayama, end with some 5 minutes of meditation, so-called meditation, and my practice is done. I totally forget about all the yoga for the remaining hours of the day. Correct? Is there any connection? Are you constantly tuned with the yogic practices once you're off the mat? That is the question. And because yoga is a jivana paddhati, it is the way of life. It is anushasana shastra. It disciplines you. It disciplines your body. It disciplines your breathing. It disciplines your mind. It disciplines your intellect. And it is manasa shastra. It is the science of your mind. That's why you should be aware of all the yogic practices which you can apply in day-to-day life. Then there will be inner transformation. So once you are done with your practice on the mat, the first principle you will remember throughout your day, Whatever my intentions are, whatever my thoughts are, the same thoughts are they coming through my speech, and whatever I am speaking, whether I am doing it or not, that is truth. The another principle is keeping in tuned with the truth all time, because yoga shows you what is real, what is unreal, what is sat, what is asat. Okay, what we right now feel what is real, in actual sense it is unreal. We feel the world I am seeing through my sense organs is the real world that exists. But yoga says the complete opposite. Whatever you are seeing in the external world is asat, is untruth. So keep in touch, in tuned all the time with sat. Then what is the sat? Your true nature. What is your true nature? Happiness. Are we happy all the time? No. Then we are living in asat. Your true nature is eternal bliss, peace. Are you constantly at peace of mind? Are you? Some of the videos I cannot see. Are you all the time peaceful?
No.
Are you all the time happy? But that is what you are. That yoga is saying, what is truth? Be happy. But then if I get good job, then I will be happy. If I get 5 BHK house, then I will be happy. If I can afford Mercedes, then I will be happy. If my children goes to grammar school, then I will be happy. If they go in Oxford, Cambridge, then I will be happy. Where is that true nature gone? Vanished. Peace of mind, vanished. So the next principle is Sakshi Bhav. What is Sakshi Bhav? Sakshi means the witness. Okay? You have to witness. But then who is witnessing? That you need to understand. Now, if, for example, you are in a problematic situation, or you're having fight with your partner, with your colleague, with your children, whoever, how are you reacting that time? Do you want to just tell me something? When you're having some fight or argument, what happens? Any one of you?
Get angry, or maybe sometimes you just speak out, which may hurt someone.
Yeah, correct. Anything else? Yes. Unmute and tell me. Yeah.
You need to try and look from their point of view also. So maybe put yourself in their shoes and see, is your anger justified?
Okay.
I feel the kids are more opinionated these days. So, sometimes that can be quite challenging when you are coming like you're like so-called generation in this country. And I'm not saying they're untrue, but probably that's the biggest challenge I think all parents might be going through. But
yeah. So if we tell something to children, and if children do not listen to us, what happens?
I mean, they do listen, but it takes time for them to accept the fact that we are true, we know something. But I think the first reaction, and I've heard with many Indian parents, not just, or I would say Asian parents, that I think they are torn apart between two countries, two values, every two sets of things, where probably I feel kids have more identity than people like us who are in this country, because they at least know they belong to Indian parents, but they have their own identity to be born and brought up here. So I feel they are more correct, but acceptance is the main thing. Nobody wants to accept it.
So those point of views differ. You know, we feel something else, they feel something else, and then there can be some argument. Then they react, then we react, and then, you know, everything messed up. So, you know what? When to practice Sakshi Bhav, the witness mode, all right, just think about when you go to a theater to watch a movie, okay? When you are seeing, you know, all those happening in the movie on that big screen, you know that you are different, correct? You are not one of those characters. The characters might be fighting, the characters might be falling in love with each other, there may be politics, there may be many things going on in the movie. But that time, do you affect? To a great extent. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we laugh, that is okay. But then do you identify yourself with those characters? Because that time you are aware that he is Shah Rukh Khan or he is James Bond. I am different than that person or that character, or whatever is happening in that movie, I am not that. Can we apply the same approach to our life? No. Why? Because we highly identify ourselves. Yes, someone wants to talk.
I was just saying it's very difficult to apply that approach. It's you need a lot of self-control to do it.
Actually, you know what? Again, I will come back to truth. Once you know who you are, now if yoga is saying, if our scriptures are saying, your true nature is happiness and peace, Satchit Ananda. Your, whatever you can say, yourself, your soul, Atman, the nature of that soul is happiness, is all pervading happiness and peace. If you tell yourself again and again, that what I am not daughter-in-law, I am not daughter, I am not mother, I am not engineer, I am not doctor, I am not this person. Can you do that? Because of asmita. What is asmita? What is ahankar? That I amness. Okay. From that beautiful state of bliss, we have come one step down into the state of asmita. That identity that I am a woman, I am 40-year-old, I am fat, I am not healthy, I eat rubbish food. You know, whatever you want to apply to yourself. I am very lazy, I am poor, I am rich, I am thin, I am dark, I am fair. All these self-identities come out of asmita. So whenever you identify yourself with one of these, you know, identities, or characters, you have to come out from that. And tell yourself that I am not this body. I am not the feeling I am right now feeling. Maybe the, sorrow, anger, whatever it is. I am not that. That is all going through in my tools of, life. As I've said, body, mind, breath, intellect, these are all the tools that not we are. Again, tell yourself, I am the happiness. I am peace. Then if that emotion is going through us, witness it, because that soul is called as drashta, the one who sees. Your soul is witnessing everything what you're doing. You're sleeping, you're eating, you're walking, you're exercising, you're watching TV, you're doing yoga. But he's not getting affected. That soul is not getting affected. But he's witnessing everything. You're wearing beautiful clothes. You're getting ready for the wedding. Whatever it is. Whatever you do, that drashta, that soul, that Atman is watching everything. But is that soul reacting, telling you something, getting affected? No. It is unaffected principle of yourself. And that is the truth. That's what you are. Ask yourself, who am I? I am not Helen. I am not Kavita. I am not Shalaka. I am not Himlata. I am that principle which is always happy and peaceful. These are maybe just the transitory identities I have taken up. Right now, we are all wearing masks for Corona. Similarly, we are wearing masks. I'm I'm women, or I'm a woman, or I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm Hindu, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm Buddhist. These are all masks. The underlying principle is the same in every one of us. Can we be in touch with that principle all the time? Because that is sadhana. It will not come easily. You have to tell yourself again and again, again and again. So contemplate. So if you want to meditate on this thought. I am that underlying principle, which is happiness and peaceful. I am not Kavita. I am not getting angry. My mind is getting angry. My body is having pain. My intellect is having conflicts. But I am free from all. Can you meditate on this? That's what meditation will help you to develop that Sakshi Bhava, the witness mode, so that your reaction, look at any situation, any person, anything like a witness. Shift your consciousness from body, mind, intellect to the underlying principle. And that is all about yoga journey, to take your consciousness inwards. Because right now, through the senses, our consciousness is constantly directed in the outside world. And we feel that is the truth, that is the reality. But contemplate on this thought, that is not real. The principle which is there deep within me is the real, is the truth. Stay connected to that truth all the time. Okay? One of the most, again, important principle is shaucha, that is cleanliness. How cleanliness will help to progress on a path of yoga or spirituality? Cleanliness at various levels. First of all, the external body, we take bath. Sometimes I think in country like UK, when weather is so cold, we don't even sweat. So sometimes we even skip bath. So, taking bath every day, wearing clean clothes, washed clothes, that I think generally all of us do. Then what about internal cleansing? As your body needs to be clean outside, your skin, your hair, all the body parts. Similarly, what about the inner cleanliness? So for that, we have various kriyas like Jalaneti, Vamanadhauti, Laghu Shankha Prakshalan, Basti, or even practicing asana, pranayam, Surya Namaskar helps to cleanse your body from within. Doing Kapalbhati or different breathing techniques will cleanse the respiratory passage from within. That is about your body. What about cleansing of your mind? How you will cleanse your mind? Do you have all the time positive thoughts? Do you always think good about yourself, others? Then what goes on at mental level, at emotional level? So whenever there are negative thoughts or bad thoughts, wrong feelings, wrong emotions, they are called as Shadripus, the 6 enemies of mind. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So whenever you go, maybe through a negative or a bad thought about yourself or about others, what type of principle you will remember? Yoga principle. That is Pratipaksha Bhavana. Pratipaksha. In maybe football match, cricket match, there are 2 paksha, 2 groups, and they play against each other, isn't it? And then there is the match that who is going to win. Now, whenever I feel angry about someone, that time you should become aware first. Yoga is all about awareness and nothing else. Remain aware about what feelings, what emotions, what thoughts are going on in your mind. If they are negative, if they are bad, if they are wrong, become aware of that. And apply Pratipaksha Bhavana, means the exactly opposite thought. Feeling calm or not getting angry or not having those, strong emotions about anyone. If you're feeling hate about someone, develop opposite emotion. Develop love towards that person. Okay? If you feel very low mentally, depressed, bring Pratipaksha Bhavana. No, I'm strong, I'm happy, I'm healthy. Just think opposite. Whenever you have any negative emotion, think or bring in the positive thought. Replace it with a positive thought. So that there are no impurities in your mind. Then what about your speech? Cleanliness in your speech. How many times we speak bad words? Curse others, curse our own self. What type of language we speak? Can I reduce bad words in my speech? Shaucha, cleanliness in our speech. That is also important. Gossiping. Who likes gossiping? Who doesn't like gossiping, isn't it? Always remember, whenever you gossip, you vibrate at low frequency. Your energy levels go down. Nothing is going to happen about that person about whom you are gossiping. But your energy level is stepping down. You're bringing in that negativity. You're bringing in those impurities within your body-mind complex. So you're at disadvantage, not that person. Okay, so cleanliness at all levels should be practiced. All right, the next one is swadhyaya, that is self-study. So what do you think by the principle swadhyaya? That is one of the niyamas. Shaucha, cleanliness, is the niyama. These are the self-disciplinary actions. Shaucha, santosha, swadhyaya, tapas, and ishvara pranidhan. So these are all the niyamas we are going to practice for our own happiness, for our own progress. So self-study means study of yourself. Okay. First, remember there are two S about self. One is the small s and one is the capital S. The small s, study about your body, your mind, your intellect, all the external tools. What goes on in my mind? What thoughts? What feelings? What emotions? Have constant awareness about these. Study, contemplate, have self-reflection, self-examination. We are very much interested in examining others, but no, that is not your job. You examine your own self. Whether I am keeping my body fit, healthy, what type of food I am eating, what I am putting inside my tummy, whether it is good for me or no, what type of thoughts I am putting in my mind, whether they are helpful for you or no. That is the study of small s. And then comes the study of capital S. That is your true nature again. How will you study about capital S? You know, we have got immense treasure about wisdom teachings, scriptures. How many of you, okay, tell me, how many of you have taken up any book which teaches you wisdom? I'm not asking your profession or your degrees, because in spirituality, in yoga, if you want to progress, you don't have to be intellectual, but you need to have sukshma buddhi. Okay, wisdom is the right word. So do you want to share me, tell me that, do you read anything? Do you study yourself? Do you give time to look at your own self? What thoughts, what anything about you as you have studied, or you have read maybe Bhagavad Gita or one of the Upanishad, one of the Vedas, Yoga Sutras, if you're a yoga student, if you're a yoga practitioner, have you taken up any such book in your hand ever to read? Any one of you? Yeah, you can just unmute yourself and tell me. Okay, Lina, you want to tell?
Yeah. Hi, Ketki. Hi, thank you. I think over the last couple of years, like questions like the existential questions that we all come to at a certain age,
Yeah.
When you reach a certain milestone. So I've been having those thoughts and contemplating about, what's your bigger purpose. And obviously, I've been beginning to study yoga, so I'm a very beginner level yoga learner, I would say. But all of these other things, as you're mentioning, I'd like to learn more. I have got some books now and started to read about these things, but I just sometimes feel overwhelmed by the profound knowledge that is out there. So anything that can make it easier for us who have probably not been practicing, or reading as a child, and now obviously this, in our sort of age where we are also very busy with our jobs, how do we fit everything in so that we can move towards achieving that balance. I mean, basically, following your sessions and so on, but it's about really, as you say, how much of that time that you devote
You know
to your
what?
self-contemplation.
Whatever you are reading in the books, obviously we are not able to practice all of them. Now, whatever principles we are discussing today in this session, even you choose one, Mahatma Gandhi ji, all his life, what he practiced, Satya, Ahimsa. On these two principles, he stick all the time. He never deviated from that principle. So you can see your nature, your composition, whatever suits you. You select one or two principles, stick to it lifelong. That single principle has got the potential and power to take you to the final goal of yoga or spirituality. That the self-realization. Who am I? That is the whole journey. So if you want to practice Shaucha, practice it all levels. Stick to it. And see, that principle will take you till the end. Okay, so if we feel, oh my God, there are so many profound thoughts, I am not, at all anywhere, I am just a beginner. Yes, we all are beginners. But just tell yourself that apart from asana and pranayama, yoga has a wide scope. And even I practice one small principle each day with sincerity, with open heart, with total devotion, it can take you and you can reach the ultimate goal. Okay, so the question is, are you reading any scriptures? Who has raised the hand? Shalaka, you?
Yes, I mean, not exactly, but when during the lockdown, I was reading few books. The one really touched me was The Secret. And I think it is something I'm trying to follow because it's basically about being grateful for what you have. So I do get times where I really feel angry, but then I just try to calm myself and just try to be, thinking good thing about that person. So I'm kind of still beginning level, I would say, but that really touched me. Like, yes, there are certain things we don't think.
Okay,
So,
yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Great, very good. Anyone else? Anyone has raised hand? Yeah. You can unmute if I couldn't see you raising the hand. Yeah. So this is another way that doing self-examination, that whether I'm keeping my body clean, healthy, whether I'm eating right food, whether I'm having right thoughts, and reading about the capital S that will come through reading scriptures. So you take Bhagavad Gita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Yoga Sutras, any one of the Upanishads. There are around 108 Upanishads, but out of them, 10 are the principal Upanishads. So if you can take up just one Upanishad, that will sustain you for your entire life. So, start reading something like that, which will nourish your soul, which will give that everlasting bliss and peace and that contentment for your soul. Because for your body, food is the nourishment, but for your soul, reading such scriptures, reading such profound things, that wisdom is the nourishment for your soul. Okay, so that is about the self-study. Now the next one is Nada Yoga, that is learning and chanting in Sanskritam. A lot of importance is given to this language because this is the language of God. It's a divine language. God speaks in Sanskritam. Yeah. That is one of the oldest language. When we chant, when we speak Sanskrit, it stimulates 5 marma points or the meridians in the oral cavity. That stimulates your nervous system, various glands. It brings in hormonal balance. Okay. So how many of you daily chant shlokas or prayers or stotras in Sanskrit language? Any one of you? Yes, Helen said yes. Hemlata, very good.
Well, you know I do, because I've been studying with you, Ketki. And I'm finding it absolutely beautiful. I really enjoy it on many different levels. There's the intellectual challenge of getting to grips with the pronunciation and the intonation, and there is the beauty of the descriptions, the understanding of what lies behind it. And then there is the satisfaction when you get it right, or when you do it properly. There is a very beautiful feeling that you get from that. And it is a form of meditation. I have my own meditation practice, which I do separately, but actually this is meditation. And on meditation generally, I think sometimes we meditate and we don't even realize it when we are very, very focused and we're engrossed in what we're doing. It's people think it's very difficult, but people probably do it all the time without realizing it.
Correct. Yeah. That's good. Yes, Hemlata.
Sorry, it's a different question, but I just wanted to ask: is meditation is it just a chanting, or even if we are doing some job or some work and we are totally engrossed in it, is that also a meditation?
Yeah. Yes, that is also a meditation. So if that particular activity, what you're doing, your awareness is completely absorbed into that activity, so that your mind or your consciousness is one-pointed. It is focused on one thing at that time. So that is meditation, or we can call it as dharana. Dharana is a better word. Dharana, where your mind, your entire consciousness is focused on that particular activity. So it is dharana. But if that sustains for quite a long time, that itself becomes dhyana. So dharana is a short-term process. When it's get converted into a long-term process, the same dharana becomes dhyan. The same process of dhyan becomes samadhi. But samadhi is a very, big picture. So when that constant one-pointedness, you can maintain it for maybe half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The dhyana is slowly going into samadhi. And it is said, samadhi is not the end, but the beginning of yoga. So we feel, oh my God, yama, niyama, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Ultimately, we have, reached the final goal. No, samadhi is not the final goal. It is the beginning of antaranga yoga. Now you have, prepared yourself to stay there according to your will. That I selected Om as the object, and now I'm focusing all my awareness towards, or just the one thought, one symbol of Om. And that I can sustain for around 3 hours, 4 hours. Now you have begun the actual journey. So from samadhi also, there are many further stages ahead. So we will not go into that. So Sanskrit, coming back to Sanskrit, where we are using sound as the tool, mantra or any prayer or shloka, when you chant, you understand its meaning and it impacts your entire system. It brings in clarity in the mind. It help reduce the impurities at physical and mental level. It helps to memorize things. So as we age, it affects our memory. It affects all the brain, centers. So in order to keep your memory good, chanting is a very good process. It will help to keep good memory, good focus. And see, whenever you visit a church or a temple, what kind of ambience you experience in those places? The same ambience you can create within your body, because body is the temple of your soul, isn't it? In Marathi, it is called Deha Devatse Mandira. Ata Atma Parameshwar. The Parameshwar, the divinity resides within you. No need to go to church or temple or Gurudwara or the mosque, because your body itself is a temple. So when you chant, chanting, praying, all these creates that, serene atmosphere in your body, in your mind, and in that serenity, your soul is very happy. Your soul feels, yes, I'm in the right place. Your soul should not feel, oh, where I have come, where I am trapped. Anything comes in, any junk food, any harmful thoughts. Do you want that kind of ambience in your temple? Or the positive, tranquil, serene, sattvic? So mainly chanting dominates the sattva guna within you. I'm going to come to guna niyantrana, the guna management, the three gunas. Okay, so the next principle or we all, sorry, I could see some raised hands. Do you want to speak something, Binda?
Yes, I just wanted to ask you or request you to recommend some chanting, because as you recommended what scriptures to read, Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, for chanting, simple chantings, anything in Sanskrit you said.
Yeah. So Atharva Shirsha or some Shanti mantras. We have got so many, stotras, shlokas, prayers. There is no limit. We have got vast treasure. So select anything you like in Sanskritam. Now, through Atman Yoga Consultancy, I am running Vedic chanting courses. So Helen has just done my level 1 course where she has learned all the Dasha Shanti mantras. Even Leena is doing it. So even those chants to learn in a systematic method, okay, is a Vedic chanting, because that impacts you in a very true sense. It just hits your the source within, or you can reach to your source through the tool of sound. So Vedic chanting is one of the best, I could say, the way of chanting. But if you don't want to learn Vedic chanting, then all the stotras, any shlokas, even Bhagavad Gita chanting, on every second Saturday of each month, I take Bhagavad Gita chanting. So you can just select few verses from Bhagavad Gita, because it is not about only uttering those words, but then again you're contemplating on its meaning, what they want to tell us. Contemplate on that. Even that stotra or shloka or the prayer will give you a lot of positivity, contemplating on its meaning. That is very important. Anything else? Anyone wants to share anything? Lina, you want to say anything?
No, I didn't have my hand up, but I would say that definitely learning this Vedic chanting, definitely feel more at peace, and that process is, quite enjoyable, because learning about the meanings of these make you feel more connected to these principles, like you're, saying now.
Okay, I think Lina, your voice is going in between.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. I thought your hand was raised, so I just asked you. That's fine. So we'll move ahead. The next principle is karma yajna. The concept of karma. Now, yajna, by word yajna, we mean homa, yajna, like, we are doing a lot of fire, sacrificial and everything. No, in your daily activities also, you can bring in the concept of yajna. So what is yajna? Is your mental attitude, what is your intention, what is your mental framework, the internal attitude of your mind is yajna. And we are putting it with the karma, your action. Now, whenever we prepare a delicious dish, okay, what we say? Today I have cooked this and this. And then what we expect from others? To praise our dish, to praise our skills of cooking, isn't it? Or for that matter, you think about all your actions. Okay? What kind of mental attitude you have behind every action? When you do something, what type of mental attitude you have at the back of it while doing it and once you're done with it? Do you want to share anything about this? I would suggest to, put on your cameras so I could see your faces. I can see while you talk. Aditi Kelkar, your hand is raised. Sorry, because I think they are overlapped. I don't know why. If you want to speak, you just unmute and say, okay? So behind every action, what mental attitude you have, whether you feel that you are doing that action, and do you expect the result of the action? On what things your focus is while doing that action? Anything you want to share?
We always focus on the result.
Result. And whatever you want, you need that result to happen, isn't it? You know what? The sage Patanjali says in Yoga Sutras, if you follow the principle of Satya, truthfulness, generally when we do any action and we expect results according to our wish, but does that happen every time? Sometimes it happens, sometimes it's not. Correct? But when you follow the principle of Satya, the results of your actions will happen according to your will. That is the siddhi you get. In yoga, if you follow any principle, you're going to get siddhis, the powers. That is a very natural thing to happen. But then that Rishi Patanjali makes us aware that do not get trapped into those siddhis. Move on. All right. Okay. So coming back to karma yajna, there is a beautiful shloka in Bhagavad Gita. It says, Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi Brahmagnau Brahmana Hutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhinaha. Now, what is Brahma? You call it as God or that higher principle. Do you think that everything is happening because of you? In your life, in others' life, because you're there, everything is, working. Everything in its place. Or do you even feel that no, beyond me there is some higher power, higher energy which is working at higher state or higher level? So what thoughts you have about this? That are you the doer or someone else is the doer? Whenever you do something, are you bound with the results of the action, or do you feel that whatever happens, I'm fine with it? Anything comes to your mind?
Convenient, isn't it? I think it's conveniently when I have plant a flower in the garden, and when it blooms, then I'll say, oh, I planted it. Look at the flowers. But a calamity happens or something that I don't like happens, and then you say, what's in my hands? Life happens. That's what tends to happen.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone else want to share anything?
I think it's the human brain which wants to attain the results, get the satisfaction, get the praise. When you say that man is chanchal, that exactly resonates with the expectation which comes with your doing. But does that mean one shouldn't think about it? And is it anything wrong about it to expect from yourself which makes you to excel somewhere in the future?
See, only when you think, or your yajna, your mental attitude is that I am the doer, then obviously you're expecting result or karma phala of that action. But if you change the mental attitude that I am not the doer, okay, once you eat the food, eating is voluntary, lifting the food and putting it in your mouth, to chew it, to gulp it. At some extent, you have got control. Once it goes into your tummy, do you have any control?
No.
The digestion, the absorption, the assimilation, the excretion, the formation of even of stools, are we doing it? No. Then there's some higher principle is working behind everything. When we go to sleep, do you manage your breathing? Do you manage your functioning of all the organs? Or even when you're awake? Okay, when you do pranayama, you control your breathing. But when you sleep, what happens?
No, we can't control. It just naturally happens.
Some people die when they sleep, isn't it? So at what extent we have control even on our body? Do you have any control on your heart, that you tell your heart, okay, now you beat, now you stop? Heart is pumping. On what basis? So our mental attitude, again, if we shift that mental attitude from I am the doer, from that to I am not the doer. Now, if you are not the doer, the result, whatever will happen, is not applicable to you because you have not done it. Isn't it? Till the moment, if I have the mental attitude, I am doing it, the karma phala applies to you. And then we get trapped into the cycle of karmashayas and birth and death. This is what our scriptures tell us. Why we are taking births? We die, we again take another body and we born again. Because in Bhagavad Gita it is said, soul is eternal. It doesn't die. It doesn't become wet, or you cannot burn it. You cannot cut it. Soul is eternal. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakam. That is the shloka comes in Bhagavad Gita, which says your soul is eternal. Nothing can happen to it. And it says you are taking birth again and again, again and again, again and again. Why? Because you think you are the doer. Now, if you want to escape the cycle of birth and death, that is the moksha, that is the liberation. Liberation from your own limitations, shortcomings, and this binding. All actions, tell yourself, I am not the doer. I am not the enjoyer. I am not the karta. I am not the bhukta. Then you will become a karta. Otherwise, if you are a doer, all the results of the actions are binding you. We can see this body, which is made up of bones, muscles. That is a sthula sharira, gross body. The energy, the prana which moves at a little subtler level, breath through which we can gain control over prana. That is the sukshma sharira. And even subtler than that is the karana sharira, the causal body. And in that body, all the karma shayas get stored up. All right. The baggage of the karma shayas, if it is big, then you are taking births again and again, again and again. So this sadhana, this yoga practice should make the baggage of karma shaya less in each birth. At this moment, if you change that mental attitude, if you follow the karma yajna, your baggage will start reducing. Because you are not doing anything. Whatever karma phalas are getting, I am not enjoying it. Because if I have not done it, how will I enjoy it? So that baggage will become small. Only those yogis, only those siddhas have zero balance of karmas get liberated. And then they have choice to take birth. We don't have choice. We have to take birth. Okay, so this is the law of karma, which is very important. And because we all are doing actions all the time, I felt this is one of the principles we should bring in our day-to-day action. Just few days back, I wrote this blog, Taking Yoga Beyond the Mat, and I shared on few groups and my Facebook page. So I'm just sharing those principles, and I thought of on International Yoga Day, I should share these principles because people just feel, okay, if I have done few Surya Namaskar and Asana, my yoga is done. No. See, it's like an iceberg. When you look at an iceberg, whatever the, the part of iceberg is above the surface level of water, that is just Asana, Pranayama, Surya Namaskar, what we are doing. There is the huge part below it, which we are completely ignorant about. We don't know. We are not applying. If we don't know how we'll apply, we'll practice. So if we can bring in the karma yajna into our every action, then imagine if you have that mental attitude all the time, many problems will get solved. No disappointments, no arguments, success, failure, all these are very, illusionary. So this is a very big topic, but mainly if you bring in this principle, again, meditate on this principle. I am not the doer. I want to reduce my baggage of karmashaya. Because your body, this body you're going to leave when we are going to die. But then we are carrying forward that causal body. We are going with that baggage. Whatever karmas you have done in this life, accordingly you will take birth in a country, in a house, in a bad or good condition. Because that is your karma. You felt you have done it, all this. So now, suffer. Whatever it is, good or bad. If good karmas are there, you're going to enjoy those karmas. But if you have done bad actions, again, you're going to have the bad effects of it. All right. And I think because it's now over the time, I will just talk about gunas management, because again, I think that is very, very important. Guna niyantrana means there are 3 gunas, that is sattva, rajas and tamas. As this soul is residing in this prakriti, this purusha is residing or having or taking help of the prakriti to experience this world. This prakriti is made up of 3 gunas. The nature is made up of 3 gunas. And there is constant interplay of these gunas within us. One day you get up, you feel fresh, nice, enthusiastic, ready for work. So rajas and tamas are dominant. And sattva is dominant, tamas is down. So always 2 gunas are up, 1 guna is down. Okay. So at the right time, right guna should activate. Now, if you're in an office meeting and tamas dominates and you doze off, then it's not going to help you, isn't it? When you're meditating and rajas dominates, all thoughts are coming, then you can't meditate. You go to bed for good night's sleep, again rajas dominates, then you cannot sleep properly. So at the right time, according to the actions you want to do during the day, let that guna dominate. When you are meditating, let sattva guna dominate. When you want to work throughout the day, let rajasa guna dominate. When you want that quality good night's sleep, let tamasa guna dominate. All three gunas are important. But then activating or dominance, having that guna dominant at wrong time will affect the quality of your work and your life. Okay, so consciously you need to bring up that guna. If you want to work and if tamas is dominating, tell yourself, I don't want right now that laziness, lethargy, sloth in me, in my body, in my mind. So I should bring it, that rajasa guna in me, in order to finish that job or do that activity. Okay, so this guna management, you should be again aware of at different time of the day, and that should get dominated at the right time, right guna at the right time. But eventually, when you want to progress on the path of yoga or spirituality, you need to dominate sattva guna. So Slowly and gradually, you need to reduce rajas, you need to reduce tamas, and what you need to bring in up is the sattva guna. And finally, even you have to leave sattva guna, you have to become gunatita in order to experience self-realization or the liberation. Gunatita means you should become free of all the three gunas. Every action, remember, whenever you do any action, these gunas are responsible for that. And that's why you should be aware of them. These gunas, what is the right word? Make you do that action. So whether it is a right action, wrong action, think which guna is dominating. All your passions, desires are because of Rajasa guna. And yoga tells us to reduce desires. How will it happen? If you have got a lot of, that karma baggage with you, you have those sanchita karmas with you, your rajas will dominate and it will tell you, no, you have to work hard to earn money, to have big house, to have that car, to achieve that position in your work. There is nothing bad in achieving your goals, but then you should think about the interplay of guna, that what guna is making you do that action, or think about particular object or a situation or a person. All right. So with this, I think we will conclude today's session. So just to recap everything, we talked about yoga is not about asana and pranayama or Surya Namaskar. It is much, much, much more than that. We are just doing 10% or not even 10% of yoga. Yoga is a way of life. So every moment, every breath of your life, if you're breathing, if you're alive, then yoga should come in your thinking, in your action, in your speech, in your entire being. Yoga should remain as that jivana paddhati all the time with you. If you have that strong tools with you, if you're in a problem, if you're having challenging situation, if you are having stressful situation, what tool you're going to use it. So it is like a helping tool, healing tool for you. Only if you're aware of that and know that, you can apply and use that principle or practice at that time. So take small steps. It's not that, you have to be like, doing or focusing all the time and then feeling, oh my God, it is out of my capacity. Okay, just take the principle of cleanliness. I started practicing cleanliness in such a way that every day I started cleaning small area in my house. Whatever things you don't want, get rid of them. Because our nature is sangraha vritti. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Accumulation is the nature of human being. So by doing cleanliness every day, just choose one small area in your house. Clean it. If you think this particular object is unnecessarily there in my house for so many months, so many years, get rid of it. So that will bring in the principle of aparigraha, non-accumulation and detachment, because we are attached to everything. I'm attached to that top, I'm attached to that spoon, I'm attached to that thing, this thing in my house. I don't want to throw. So bring in that sense of non-accumulation and non-attachment. Get rid of things. Only keep those things which are necessary in your house clean. So just practice that. Take small activity, small step but regularly. That is important. I have practiced for a few months, but then, I didn't find any results. So I gave up. So I'm not going to take you anywhere. So just choose one of these principles, either Shaucha or the next principle we have seen is witness, that's Sakshi Bhav, or Pratipaksha Bhavana, truthfulness. Are my intentions, thoughts, speech, and actions are aligned? Or I'm thinking one thing, speaking something else, and doing something else. There is no balance, there is no alignment. So I'm not following truthfulness. So have that alignment in your all the three levels. Have Sakshi Bhav, that witnessing process, that what is real, what is unreal, what is truth, what is untruth. Start developing chanting practice as a daily ritual. Can you skip your one meal in the day? No. Similarly, at least how many minutes it will take for chanting, but do it with full attention and total devotion, then that's going to help you. Karma yajna, change the inner feeling behind every action and lessen the baggage of your karmas. All right, and then remain aware of your three gunas, the play of sattva, rajas, and tamas all the time. At right time, let right guna should activate. Then the quality of your action, the quality of your every level of your life or existence will be better. So with this, we'll conclude today's session. Do you have any questions or do you want to say something? Okay.
Kate, can we conclude with something of a bit of Vedic chanting or something that you recommend?
Okay, yeah. No problem. I will chant few Vedic mantras. Helen, if you want to chant. Do you want to start with maybe Gayatri mantra or any mantra, what we have done so far? Or Leena? You can bring your script if you want. Chant any of the mantras you have learned.
You can do Gayatri mantra, but I think Helen is on mute.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. Yes, I will look at the word. How about the Shanti mantra number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Yeah. So Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karyavavahai, Tejasvinadvarhitamastu Mavishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, Leena. You want to chant any mantra?
I will just do Gayatri mantra.
Yeah.
Tasya Vidravarenyam Devasya Prachodayat.
Thank you. So I would conclude with Om Bhadram Karnevi, that we should hear, see all the auspicious things. We should do all the right actions. We should have all the right thoughts in the mind. So you can just close your eyes and enjoy this Vedic mantra. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Sushtuvagum Sastanubhihi Vyashema devahitam yadayugu. Om swasti na indro vruddhashravaha. Swasti na Usha Vishvavedaha. Swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi. Swasti no Brahaspatir dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And with a few blinks, slowly open your eyes. So thank you very much for joining today's session. And just to mention that through Atman Yoga, I'm running various courses. Yoga for women, children's yoga. Now I'm starting yoga for teens. I'm doing Vedic chanting, level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm doing Hatha yoga. So like there are many courses which I run through Atman, and you can visit my website Atman Consultancy, atmanyogaconsultancy.co.uk. And if you want to join any of these courses, please let me know. And apart from your asana and pranayama, bring in at least one principle into your daily routine so that it will help for that inner transformation, because all we need is the inner transformation. Let our consciousness lift up and not degrade down. We should know, or we should develop that viveka khyati or viveka buddhi, that discriminative power which we are gifted, being the humans, as we are different from animals, because animals act on their instincts. We also act on instincts, but we have got this viveka buddhi. So let's use that all the time, and in this life itself, let's move closer and closer to our true nature, that is your Atman. Okay, so I wish you again happy International Yoga Day to you all, and I hope to bring yoga in your day-to-day life. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ketki.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ketki.
Very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.